Welcome to another deep dive, everybody. This time, we're tackling something exciting and maybe a little intimidating for some. Buying your first home.
The big step.
Yeah, it is. So, we've got Natalie's quick guide to buying your first home. This book's got tons of practical advice, and luckily, our experts here to help us make sense of it all.
Happy to be here.
So, imagine you're sitting down at a cafe with a real estate pro. Ready to crack the code on all the jargon, get those insider secrets.
Like a cheat sheet.
Exactly. And let's be honest, sometimes it feels like real estate has its own secret language, right?
Absolutely.
But that's where our expert comes in. They're fluent, they can break it all down, help us understand not just like the steps, but the why behind them.
The why is key.
Right. So Natalie's book, right off the bat, she says you got to know your why. Why buy a home? It's more than just needing a place to live. It's hopes and dreams, too.
It's huge because buying a home, that's a long-term commitment. So that why becomes your anchor.
So true. It's about freedom, maybe stability, a place to put down roots. That keeps you focused, right?
Totally. And it helps you make decisions later on when things get tricky.
Speaking of tricky, let's talk obstacles. Natalie lists some common ones, like fear.
Oh, yeah. Fear's a big one.
Right. Fear of messing up, finances, like an unstable job, debt. Then there's just not knowing enough. Credit score worries, down payment struggles, even just not knowing where you want to live.
And notice how the book tackles the mental side of things first. That's smart.
It is. She even says, write down your fears, really look at them, then research, find facts to counter them.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got our fears written down now. Get this. Natalie says we gotta visualize success.
This is so important.
It's like an athlete, right? Seeing themselves win before they even start training.
Exactly. And it's not just woo-woo stuff. It really impacts your actions, your choices, and in the end, your results.
It shapes your reality.
Yeah, it really does.
She even quotes Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about the power of the mind. He said, "The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the slow, you can do something, you can do it, as long as you believe 100%.
Love that quote.
Right? Okay, so we've got the mental game down. But what about the actual steps, right? Natalie gets into the nitty-gritty of documents you'll need for a mortgage.
The paperwork can seem daunting, but
Why bed?
it's actually a good thing. Having it all organized shows lenders you're serious, streamlines the process, makes you a more appealing borrower.
It's like saying, hey, I'm ready, let's do this thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so documents, check. What about oh, right, there's this thing called a credit report. I know it's important, but sometimes it feels like this big mystery.
I get that. Think of it like your financial resume. Lenders use it to see how you handle money, do you pay bills on time, stuff like that.
So they're checking our financial references. Got it. Now, Natalie talks about building your dream team. Sounds fun. This is where we get those real estate agents, attorneys, lenders, right?
Right. Like assembling a squad of experts for your home buying journey. Your agent will be your advocate, guiding you through the whole process. And a good attorney, they protect your interests during the legal parts. You want people you trust.
Your real estate BFF and bodyguard.
Exactly.
All right, team assembled. Now it's location time. And Natalie doesn't just mean the house itself. It's about the whole neighborhood, right?
Absolutely. It's where your why comes back in. City life, quiet suburb. Think about the lifestyle you want.
It's got to match your vision, right? We're talking schools, parks, even that local coffee shop vibe.
Everything. It all plays a part.
Okay, so we've got our location narrowed down. We're picturing ourselves sipping lattes in our new neighborhood. But hold on. Before we get too comfy, Natalie says inspections are non-negotiable.
So important. It's like getting a sneak peek at the house's health. You want to know about any issues before you're, locked into buying.
Catching those problems early on.
Right. Imagine falling in love with a house. Then the inspection finds a leaky roof or faulty wiring. Big problem.
A nightmare. So we need to be picky about who does the inspecting too, right?
Absolutely. A good inspector will be thorough, give you a detailed report. Think of them as a detective, making sure there are no hidden surprises.
No skeletons in the closet. So after the inspection, what's next on the agenda?
Well, then it's usually time for the appraisal.
Oh, right, the appraisal. That's where they figure out the fair market value, right?
Exactly. An independent appraiser comes in, looks at recent sales, the condition of the house, all that. They're making sure the price you're paying is reasonable.
So it protects both the buyer and the lender.
Exactly. No one wants any surprises later on.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, things get a little mysterious here. Title searches and title insurance. I've heard those terms, but Honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on what they actually mean.
No worries. It can seem confusing. Think of a title search like a background check for the house. They make sure the seller actually has the right to sell it and that there are no hidden claims against the property.
Like making sure the title is clean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And title insurance, that's like an insurance policy. It protects you in case any unexpected title issues pop up later on.
So, peace of mind. Got it. Now, we can't forget about closing costs. That's the part where everyone groans, right?
It's definitely something to be prepared for.
It's all those fees that come with finalizing the purchase, right? Like loan fees, appraisal fees, all that fun stuff.
Yep. It's important to budget for those costs so you're not surprised at the closing table.
Yeah.
They're separate from your down payment.
Right. Two separate things to keep in mind. Now, something I really appreciated about Nathalie's book was her reminder that there are resources for first-time homebuyers. We don't have to go it alone.
Oh, absolutely. There are programs for down payment assistance, special loans, just for first-timers. It's worth doing your research to see what's out there.
Like a whole support system. It's great to know there's help available, especially for those who might need a little extra boost to reach that homeownership dream.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's out there.
So as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to that why. Think about what homeownership really means to you. What are your hopes and dreams for this space?
Yeah, let that vision guide you through the challenges.
Yeah.
Keep you motivated. Because buying a home, it's not just a transaction. It's creating a place where you can thrive.
Building a life you love, brick by brick. We'll be back soon for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll dig even deeper into the nuts and bolts of buying your first home. Stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.